Is this the worst hotel on the strip?
We're gonna find out by staying in the 3 lowest rated hotels in Vegas to find the best of the worst.
Can we leave?
Not until we've stayed at Circus Circus.
I'm gonna stay somewhere else.
You got that right, we're even staying at Luxor and Excalibur.
We're on floor 13, so...
Do these hotels live up to their reputation? From the food, pool complex, and hotel rooms, we're gonna find out.
This carpet has seen things, okay?
Subscribe to our channel for more fun videos and join our YouTube membership for extra perks.
Trying to have a good, positive attitude right now.
Well, sit back and relax because we're crowning the best of the worst in Vegas.
Secrets will be revealed.
You know what time it is.
This may be our last recorded vlog, and if we don't have any vlogs after this, you know what happened to us.
It's recess time.
Welcome to Circus Circus, where the vibes are vintage, the clowns are eternal, and the pink paint just lasts forever. This iconic Las Vegas hotel and casino opened in 1968, dreamed up by Jay Sarno. That's the same guy who dreamed up Caesar's Palace, but unlike Caesar's, Circus Circus was built for the whole entire family, if your family's into trapeze acts and slot machines being under the same roof. At first, it had no hotel. It was just a giant circus-themed tent that had a bunch of slot machines underneath it, but you know what? When the gamblers came, they had nowhere to stay, so the hotel towers went up. Over the years, they've added those hotel towers, giant indoor theme park called the Adventure Dome, and enough neon to light up the sky. It's known as being a budget-friendly hotel, a little quirky, and definitely full of childhood memories. It's now owned by billionaire Phil Ruffin, who's actually looking to sell this place. And Phil also owns Treasure Island, so you know he has pirates and clowns all under his casino empire. Lots of people come for the nostalgia, but they stay for the cheap hot dogs, beer, and indoor roller coasters. It's weird, it's wild, and somehow it's still standing, so let's get in there and check it out. And rumor has it, it actually has one of the best steakhouses in Las Vegas. We gotta see it to believe it. Let's begrudgingly go inside.
All right, Chris, you ready?
Are we ever ready? Let's do this thing.
Okay. You know what? We were here when we gambled at every strip casino, and that was enjoyable.
Yeah, but that wasn't staying here.
Correct. Now, where do we check in? All right, I think we found it. You gotta walk like past the buffet. I didn't know they had a buffet.
Is the buffet operational? It looks abandoned.
But, I mean, they've got all your favorite games. They've got, you know, a bunch of stuff going on, but the question is, why is it so difficult to find the lobby?
All right, interesting check-in process. There wasn't a registration desk, just a bunch of kiosks. There were probably like 20 self-service kiosks. We did get our room keys, but look at these lines set up behind us. They're empty now, but they wouldn't be set up if they didn't get full at some point. Could you imagine having to wait in this line to check into your room here at Circus Circus? Let's go check out our room. We got a newly refurbished king room. Let's see what it's all about.
This way.
9804.
Hold on, doesn't this feel like a
This feels like The Shining. What the
scary movie?
Why are
Like,
the hallways
seriously, look at that.
the hallways are so dim, we're all the way at the end.
Naturally. Okay, so
Like,
it's so echoey because of the hardwood floors.
the hardwood floors are they nice? I don't know.
Or-
I feel like I'm in a hospital.
It's so echoey because of the spirits.
And we're in a refurbished room? I'm scared. All right, here we go. Moment of truth. It doesn't open. All right, we made it to the room, finally, after what seemed like a million years. Honestly, it would be helpful if they had a map or something next to registration to let you know which tower you're in, because when we checked in on the kiosk, it didn't tell us, it just told us a room number, but we found the room, and I'm gonna be 100% honest, my expectations for this room were so low that honestly, this isn't bad. It's definitely not as bad as I thought it would be.
All right, before we give you our thoughts on the room, we still need to explore this hotel, this resort. We got to go check out the pool and some of the other amenities that are here. We have never stayed at Circus Circus, so we don't want to render judgment yet, but we're excited. We're going to change. We're going to go to the pool because we don't want to lose any daylight, and surprisingly, it is actually almost sunset. So we are going to go. We got here a little late. So we're going to go to the pool, kind of enjoy ourselves, and yeah, let's go check that out. I will say a pool will make or break a resort review. And quite frankly, that's a determining factor whether or not I would come back.
Yeah, a good pool can change a lot.
Because look, we could do the whole like black light situation. certainly there are a lot of content creators out there on YouTube and whatever doing that, but that's too sensational for us. Like, we're not gonna look under the bed.
Yeah, and it was wood floors anyway, and they looked pretty clean. So, you know, we're simple people.
Correct. Also, if you look hard enough anywhere, even at the Wynn or the Bellagio, you're gonna find stuff you don't like. So, just go with it. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
If you don't go looking for stuff, most of the time you won't find it.
Yeah. Okay, so if you're coming to Circus Circus, the pool is outside, which most pools are, but normally you don't have to leave the resort. You literally have to exit the resort. And then, is that the pool? I don't know.
Yeah.
Where's the slide?
I think it's in, like, that whole thing is the pool.
Okay. I mean, is this a practical joke? They told us to go across the street.
Oh, we could have gotten to it that way.
Okay. We asked for directions, and he told us to go up and then back down. I think that's what he meant. You got to cross that bridge. So this is random research. We made the mistake. It's us.
Yeah.
We bought some Gatorades, and I got to say, 2 Gatorades. Guess how much? Hold on. Comment down below how much you think it is, and we'll confirm with a thumbs up or not. And let me tell you, it will shock you.
But maybe not in a bad way. All right, well, this pool complex actually has a lot more stuff than I originally thought. There's 5 water slides, there's like 4 racer slides, and then 2 other slides. They actually look like a lot of fun. The one downside, you're walking on like the asphalt. There's no shade. You're gonna like destroy your feet trying to get to the slides. Unless you have like shoes at the end or shoes at the beginning and the end. I don't know how people are doing this, but those slides look like a lot of fun. And then there's a big old splash pad back here for the little kids. And there's a pool that you can just swim in like a normal swimming pool. They also have a food truck out here. I don't know the hours. It doesn't look open. Pretty neat that there's a food truck out here. But these water slides actually kind of look legit if you like slides.
Chris and I, we got our margarita. Cheers. Comment down below. I'll just tell you this one. I'll tell you this one. I'm not going to do that. $15 each. That's not bad. I gotta say, they've got a 21 and up bar, right? So no one can go there but an adult. But they also have splash snacks. Plus the food truck, I gotta say the prices are reasonable. Like $6.95, $9.95. Like for Las Vegas, in terms of like snacks, if you want a hot dog, if you want whatever, that's pretty reasonable. But cheers, Chris. Cheers to being in Vegas, out here. No matter what hotel, we're together, we're having fun. And that's why you come out here, right? So cheers to that.
It's so hot out here. I'm covered up so don't get burned because there's like no shade. But this margarita actually isn't bad. And it's nice and cool. So cheers.
So we had a blast at the pool. It's really hot. Like Chris said, there's no shade. The pool, I'd give it, you know, quite frankly, I mean, it's a step above a Hojo.
I'd give it like a 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad, you know? Extra points for the water slide and the big giant splash pad. Minus points for all of the asphalt. All right, well, we're gonna go change and then maybe go explore the Midway.
All right, we're headed to the Midway. I'm really excited. I don't know, like, I have no idea the price. I don't know how much things cost, but
All the games are like you pay as you go. But if you want to get to the Adventure Dome, adults are $60 for an all-day pass. Children are $30. And it gets you unlimited rides on everything.
you gonna do it?
I don't know, it's so late in the day, like I feel like we wouldn't get value out of it, but I definitely do want to go check it out and see what types of rides there are, because apparently it has the world's largest indoor roller coaster with 2 loops
Seriously?
and 2 corkscrews.
All right, first impressions, this is pretty impressive. They have annual passes.
Yeah, this is a big old amusement park, and it's inside, which is nice, AC.
Yeah.
They have some like 4D dark rides. They've got roller coasters, thrill rides. I have to say the Adventure Dome surprised me a little bit. I had seen a couple roller coasters just walking by it, but I didn't realize how big this place is. Not only does it have roller coasters and other carnival rides, it's got carnival games, arcades. It's got like a putt-putt course. It has go-karts outside. And like I said, there's 2 indoor roller coasters. So there's El Loco and the Canyon Blaster. And the Canyon Blaster they call the world's largest indoor roller coaster that has 2 loops and 2 corkscrews. So take that for what you will. But it did look pretty intense. And from what we've heard, it bangs you around a little bit. So just know that. But when it went by just now, the whole ground shook. So I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing.
Thank you, thank you. Please, hold your applause.
If you're hungry here at Circus Circus, they got you covered. We're here in the Circus Circus food hall. I'm just kidding. It's not the food hall. Wouldn't it be funny if they called it a food hall? It's actually a food court, traditional food court. They got a Krispy Kreme. They got a Burger King. They got Einstein Bros. They got Popeyes. They have a pretty big selection, actually. And, you know, it's your typical food court fare, food court prices, but it's nice that it's available here inside Circus Circus. We actually have something to show you right next door for some cheap eats. So let's go grab a hot dog. That's your hint. Oh my gosh, look at the theming. Even the trash cans are themed. I told you there's gonna be a lot of pink. All right, located right next door. Actually, I think it's connected to Circus Circus, is Slots of Fun. And this is an open air casino. It has super cheap gambling if you're looking for that. And it also apparently has some really cheap food and beverage options as well. But what makes Slots of Fun really unique is it's home to some of the only coin operated slot machines in the entire city. I know these used to be everywhere. Now they're kind of like dinosaurs, they're fading away, but it's really cool that Slots of Fun has them if you want to come get some of that vintage Vegas vibe. All right, this is a rarity in Vegas. I got this beer and this hot dog for $4. That's right, $2 hot dog, $2 beer here at Slots of Fun. You're not gonna beat that deal anywhere on the strip. They also had $2 popcorn and $2 shrimp cocktails. I'm not gonna risk a shrimp cocktail for $2, but I did get a hot dog and a beer, so honestly, I'm happy. I'm not complaining about this at all. All right, now that I had a little hot dog in my belly and I got my beer, let's head back over to Circus Circus because I think they actually have circus shows on the casino floor. I don't know what that means either, but I did see some trapezes. So are we about to see a trapeze artist inside the casino? Let's go find out. All right, like I said, we found the area where they do the trapeze show. It's right behind us. This is so cool. And I wonder if a show's about to go on. They just made an announcement, so I think we're gonna stick around here and wait and see if there are actually circus acrobats on the casino floor here.
Oh my gosh, y'all, that was actually really interesting. I don't know what I was expecting. That's the first time I've seen that. It reminded me of what the Rio used to do, what Vegas used to do. Vegas used to have shows, and I mean, it's a city of entertainment, but the fact that there's trapeze artists and a show going on where you can gamble is just amazing. So really excited to see if they have any other acts here, but I'm impressed. The Rio used to have that big Rio show. What was it called? Comment down below if y'all remember, but wow, I don't know. +1 for Circus Circus for still having entertainment and theming. That was really fun.
All right, Abed, we saw the circus acrobats. Now, I kind of want to gamble a little bit. I saw a carousel of slot machines somewhere around here. Let's go find that. All right, so it does say watch your step moving platform, so I think it is supposed to rotate. It just isn't right now. All right, if you're looking for super cheap table minimums, Circus Circus doesn't even have those. It does have $10 blackjack, $15 roulette, so not horrible. We are in the middle of the day on a weekday, so take that for what it is. They probably go up at night, but Slots of Fun had $5 blackjack. So if you want really cheap table games, go next door to Slots of Fun. You're not gonna find a cheaper blackjack game on the strip, I promise you. All right, now we're in the Midway, and this is literally just a giant carnival. It feels like I'm in a Dave & Buster's. You buy a card, you put points on the card, and you play games. So these games aren't free, you do have to pay for them, but Think Abed wants to play one. He has his eye on one of them.
So this game is called Chicken in a Pot, and I just thought it was super cute. Literally, you've got this chicken here. I'm gonna launch it and hopefully get it into the pot. And I think it's just one prize, so you can't get necessarily 3 prizes, but wish me luck, y'all. This was just super cute. I had to do it. I just had to do it. I am nervous. Okay. Hold on. I want a good clear pot. Yep. Too much. Okay. Dang. No luck, no chicken in the pot.
Okay, enough fun on the Midway. It's dinner time. We have reservations at the steakhouse here at Circus Circus, and I'm so excited to see if it lives up to the hype. It constantly gets regarded as a hidden gem, one of the best steakhouses in Las Vegas. We're gonna go test it out. All right, so we are seated here at the steakhouse inside Circus Circus, and immediately it's giving old school, old Las Vegas steakhouse vibes, the red leather booths, the dark woods, all of the pictures on the walls. And immediately when you walk in, you're struck with just the smell of this place because they cook all their steaks in the middle of the restaurant on a charcoal broiler, which is really, really interesting. You don't see that a lot, and you can watch them cooking the steaks. All right, you know, we're martini boys, so what else would we get at a steakhouse? A martini, duh.
Of course, it's also on my shirt. Come on now, cheers.
Cheers. Oh my God, that's perfect.
That's perfect.
That's such a good martini, holy cow.
Ooh, y'all, the bread is good.
The bread is freaking great. It's flaky, it's buttery, and those shrimps and the shrimp cocktails, massive. Those are humongoid. That's not a word, humongoid. I just made it up. You don't come here for the sides.
Yeah.
The sides are good. They're not the greatest sides I've ever had.
Right.
The steaks really are the stars of the show here. Both steaks, the filet and the ribeye, fantastic.
If you asked me what's the best ribeye, I would have said Delmonico. Emeril Lagasse's Delmonico Steakhouse has the best ribeye. This can compete with that. It's not as big or whatever, but it's good.
Really. I got the petite cut, 16 ounces. You could get a 24 ounce. Oh, I can't handle that.
When I tell you, this was one of the best experiences, and quite frankly, affordable for a Las Vegas steakhouse. Now, the prices are still on par with pretty much every steakhouse in Vegas. You got a salad and then, you know, a side of your choice, like either mashers or the baked potato. Between the two of us, Chris and I ended up spending a little over $300 for this meal, but that accounted for everything. Now, that's a lot, but we are splurging. It's the only like really big splurge on this trip, at least here at Circus Circus. So $300 out the door, but that includes an appetizer, it includes 2 drinks, main courses each, not to mention dessert. So all things considered, that's pretty good, at least for Las Vegas standards.
The next morning.
All right, so final thoughts of Circus Circus. Was it great? Absolutely not. At least it has an identity, so that's cool. Nowadays, more and more on the Vegas Strip, hotels just don't have that theming anymore. This is definitely themed, whether you like it or not. The theming runs through the entire hotel. High points of Circus Circus: the Adventure Dome, really fun. The pool, really fun. This is a very family-friendly resort, so if you are bringing your family to Las Vegas, you have kids, this is a great option. They're gonna run around and have a great time, I'm sure. I don't think it's the worst hotel, so take that for what it is.
That's 1 down and 2 to go on our quest to find best of the worst in Las Vegas. Up next, Luxor.
Sin City is full of iconic sites, and none more recognizable than this giant mysterious black pyramid right behind me. This is the Luxor, Las Vegas. Today, we're diving headfirst into the good, the bad, and the downright bizarre to find out, does the Luxor really deserve all the hate it gets? Or is it a hidden gem buried in the Las Vegas sand? Let's check in, explore every corner of this hotel, and see if this resort really should be explored or left to the mummies. The Luxor opened back in 1993 and was one of Vegas's first truly themed hotels and casinos, and really helped kick off that craze that swept through this city in the early to mid 90s. And it's really cool to still see this hotel and casino standing. The theming used to be a lot more intricate, but we'll talk about that inside at some of the stuff they've taken away from the Luxor, but it still remains one of Vegas's most recognizable icons, with its 30-story pyramid, its giant light at the top of the pyramid, as well as over 4,400 rooms. This hotel is huge. So let's go inside and explore a little bit more of the Luxor. Immediately entering the Luxor, you are confronted with the very obvious theming of this hotel. It's obviously themed around Egypt and ancient Egypt, which is really fascinating and cool. And while this is really neat, the level of theming here has diminished, which is kind of unfortunate. You know, we never got to experience the Luxor back when it had like all of the things that it used to have around the theming of ancient Egypt. For instance, out front between the Sphinx and the pyramid used to be this giant lake. They had a laser show and fountain show that was supposed to really mimic, or rival at least, things like the Bellagio fountains or the Mirage volcano. That's gone. Inside, they used to have a Nile River ride that you could do as like a little slow boat dark ride that traveled through the Nile and was very well themed to ancient Egypt. That's gone as well. They even went so far as to have fake archaeologists roaming around the hotel, the floors of the casino that you could talk to and interact with. So yeah, a lot of that theming has disappeared, unfortunately, but you know what? It still retains some of it, and it's really cool to see. It's one of the last truly themed hotel resort casinos here in Las Vegas. One of the main attractions here at the Luxor is the Titanic Artifact Exhibition. It's like a museum for all things Titanic. We've actually done this before, and it's a really fun experience, especially if you're a fan of the Titanic.
I gotta say, Luxor definitely has way more entertainment options. Not only the exhibits that Chris talked about with Titanic and Bodies, but it's also home to Fantasy, Blue Man Group, and Carrot Top. We've actually seen all three of those shows and they're all fantastic. Yes, we've seen Fantasy. It's respectful and actually really fun. Now, Carrot Top is one of the funniest comedians we saw live. We kind of went into it prejudging, but I gotta say, he's been around for so long for a reason. If you want a good laugh, if you want to have a good time, trust us. Those three shows are pretty affordable and they're actually pretty good. One of the great things about Luxor is its proximity to other MGM properties here on the south end of the strip. You're sandwiched in between Mandalay Bay and Excalibur. There's also a free tram that takes you between those resorts, which is great, so you don't have to do so much walking. Because we all know in Las Vegas, you're gonna be doing a lot of walking. All you gotta do is walk through the Sphinx and you'll find the tram.
The atrium here inside the Luxor is truly something to behold. You have to see it in person to believe it. I know it may look big on camera, but you feel like an ant when you're standing at the bottom of this thing. It's 30 stories tall. All of the rooms surround the atrium. It's giving very much contemporary vibes at Disney World. This is actually the largest atrium in the entire world at 29 million cubic feet. That is massive, and you can definitely feel it. This is really, really cool to see. And like, again, one of the iconic things that you have to see when you're here in Las Vegas.
Chris, this is weird, no? Like the energy in here is just throwing me off. I don't know if it's like the sharp edges, the pointiness, the giant showroom here. I don't know, there's just an energy. And I know a lot of people say this place is haunted. You know, unfortunately, there have been a lot of incidents here. We're not gonna get into that, but y'all can Google it. Being like at the center right now, this is just weird. The vibes are off.
Yeah, Abed's right. You know, if you pick up on energies, this does have a very unique one. Unfortunately, like Abed said, the Luxor is no stranger to tragedies, and even in its construction, there were reported deaths of some of the workers building this resort. And yeah, you know, it's a pyramid, a lot of sharp angles, confined spaces, a lot of symbolism. So sometimes that can maybe lead to feelings of weird or eerie energy. And there have been a lot of ghost reports here. So supposedly this is a haunted hotel. We'll let you know if we come across any ghosts.
Well, I ain't afraid of no ghosts. All right, we've talked a lot about the Luxor. Obviously, the vibes are off here, and I don't know that they're gonna get any better, Chris. We just got our room. We checked in through the mobile app, and we're on floor 13. So, yeah.
Are floor 13 still a thing? Who still has a floor 13? I don't know. I'm definitely not gambling here now. What the heck?
Yeah, floor 13. I don't know how I feel about that. You know, there's a lot of history to this hotel, not so great. Also,
Our room number turns out to be 1313. That'd be funny.
actually, I don't know. It's on the phone. We'll check it once we get there. But yeah, the elevator situation's odd. Well, they're not even elevators, are they?
No, they're called inclinators because they travel at an incline, 39-degree incline. So you're not actually going up and down. You're going on the, you know, the slant of the pyramid.
All right, this is very creepy. I did not care for the elevator. Oh, why is it so dark?
Our room's right here, but
Oh,
let's go over here. This is the...
why is there so much trash in the hallway? Oh no.
Ooh, I don't like that.
Gosh. Wow.
If you're afraid of heights, this isn't a fun hotel.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Like, why are these so low? Okay, I don't think I like this. Let's just get to the room. Hopefully the room is better. The inclinator, elevator, doodad took forever. I'm trying to have a good, positive attitude right now, but let's just go. The room, we're here in Vegas, we're gonna have a good time, but let's go check out this room. It's seriously so dark.
I know. Ready?
All right, 13110.
It smells bad in here.
Oh my God, and then there was somebody like crying just now. Okay, get some light.
Oh no. What is this?
Why is it so,
It's
like,
so humid.
it's humid. This is just, can we leave?
It's so humid in here. And I'm afraid to take my shoes off. Look how dirty the carpet is. Or like,
This is a new update, no? From
no,
what I've seen online.
no. Oh, look, the AC unit's right here.
And it's so dark in here. Okay,
Oh, and the walls are like slanted.
Open the blinds. Let's see what's going on with that. What kind of view did we get? Oh, tower view. Oh, the
Excalibur.
castle. A little foreshadowing.
This is such a the wallpaper is strange. Like, this whole room is just like, it feels very dated, and it probably is. I don't know if you want to shine more light in here though. Is that that might not be the move.
Maybe we don't want to see what's going on in here.
Yeah.
Initial instincts and impressions are it's humid and dated.
It smells weird. There is a distinct odor in here. Let's go eat and
Yeah.
get out of here.
Yeah, I think we need food, and then pool has to happen.
Yeah, all right. I don't want to stay in this room for very long.
Let's go.
All right, we've shown you guys the room. Now we're a little hungry, so we're gonna stop here to grab a bite at Diablo's Cantina, which is one of the Luxor's signature restaurants. So let's go get some Mexican food.
I gotta say, Diablo's Cantina really hit. It was very good. I ended up getting like the brunch item, so there was like a breakfast burrito. I think Chris got the chilaquiles. Everything was really flavorful. And honestly, for the two of us, it came out to about $50. That includes tax and tip. We did leave 25% tip. So keep that in mind. It's not necessarily the cheapest. It was just 2 entrees. Chris did get a Diet Pepsi, so I mean, we got 1 beverage. But overall, we've spent more in Vegas, so not too bad. Again, all in tax tip, you know, all that stuff. But we have definitely filled our bellies, but we're feeling pool. I mean, so far the room is serviceable, but time to change and go to the pool. I will say, I don't even know if you can hear me, but that thing is so loud. I don't know. Again, serviceable, but we'll get into that in a minute.
Can we please go to the pool and get out of this room? It smells in here. Smells bad.
What are you doing on the bed, and why is the chair right there?
Listen, this is my mode of transportation around the room. The floor is lava, okay? The fact that you're standing on it, I'm very surprised. At least you have socks on. This carpet has seen things, okay? Lots of things, you can tell. I don't want to be touching it.
So you're gonna change on the bed?
You know what? I'm not changing on the ground. I'm not changing on the carpet. So yes.
This is gonna take forever, Chris. What are you doing?
Okay, I'm ready.
Well, I understand you're ready. I wanna go to the pool.
Let's go. Push me.
You have shoes on though.
You're right. All right. You didn't earlier, and you were barefoot on this carpet. So, hello, athlete's foot.
Leave my feet alone. They're fine. All right, we're going to the pool. Let's see if is it pyramid shaped?
No, but it is apparently really big. It's one of the larger pool decks in Las Vegas. I think it's like 125,000 square feet, which is pretty large. So, you know what? Let's get in the water into the scary hallway.
It is it not? It's so dark.
So dark. Now I have to get into the nauseating elevators.
Yeah, not a fan. Not a fan.
They're so
-1. We gave a bunch of points out for Circus Circus. How many points? We haven't been doing it. -2.
This place has a lot of minuses.
Yeah, we can't keep track, y'all. We can't keep track. I gotta say, I mean, I gotta give them some points. This is definitely better than the Circus Circus pool.
Way better.
And it's massive.
Yeah, the pool deck's huge. They have like 4 different pools, I think.
This is neat. Is that a slide or no? That's
No,
not.
that's just like a waterfall.
Wow. Plus, I mean, look at this. Like you have the pyramid right there.
That's pretty cool. You get to swim under the pyramid. That's pretty neat.
I mean, that's gonna make a great photo op right there.
All right, well, let's go find it. It's very windy out here today. Let's go find a chair and then maybe get in the water.
All right, you wanna go back there?
Again, it suffers from the same problem Circus Circus did. There's no shade anywhere.
Absolutely no shade.
All right, each of their pool chairs have a QR code and a number, so you can actually scan the QR code to place an order for food or beverage right by the pool. There are tons of chairs. There's just no shade. So Bed and I are gonna set up here, probably go into the water. So all in all, pretty nice pool. It's not like a super luxe resort pool, but it's definitely better than the Circus Circus pool. And honestly, it's on par with most of the other moderate resorts here in Vegas that we've been to.
We've just completed Hotel 2 of 3 on our journey to find the best of the worst rated hotels in Las Vegas. Now, between Circus Circus and here, it's kind of a toss-up, but we're leaning a little more Circus Circus, both Chris and I, but we do prefer the north side. But will the final hotel change our mind about that? There seems to be a lot more to do at Circus Circus for families than here at Luxor. But I will say, when it comes to the accommodations here at Luxor, what you've read online is probably accurate. It's just not doing it. Now, we stayed in the pyramid, we didn't stay in the tower. Comment down below if you've stayed in the tower, maybe you had a different experience, but the bed just wasn't as comfortable. It felt dirty, the ceiling was falling apart. I mean, there were just some pretty big issues with that room. Plus, the elevators are just, quite frankly, the worst elevators I've ever been in a Las Vegas hotel, period. Grab your swords, or maybe just your hand sanitizer, because we're diving headfirst into the Excalibur, aka the Dirty Castle, to see, is it the best of the worst?
The only other time that we've been here at the Excalibur is during our Gambling at Every Hotel and Casino on the Las Vegas Strip series. Other than that, we haven't done more than a pass by on the Strip. So we're actually gonna go inside and check things out. This hotel is, again, one of the better themed hotels here. It's themed to medieval times. It's got knights, chivalry, and according to some Yelp reviews, maybe some dirty rooms and broken air conditioners, I don't know. Now, I have to say, from the exterior, the Excalibur is one of the coolest and most striking hotels here on the Strip. It, again, aligns with that super theming that a lot of the hotels that opened up in the 90s offered. Just a quick fun fact about the Excalibur, when it opened back in 1990, that's right, this is 35 years old. When it opened in 1990, it was actually the largest hotel in the entire world at over 4,000 rooms. Now, obviously since then, many hotels have surpassed that, including hotels right here in Las Vegas, but that's a neat little tidbit. I had no idea that this was the largest hotel in the world when it opened. All right, behind me at Excalibur is just a giant empty space, and I think this is where the moat used to be. If you didn't know, Excalibur used to have a really cool themed show with like a dragon, and it would come out, and they used to have like a moat. It's really cool that they used to have a show like that, but it's also kind of sad to see all of this abandoned space since they took it out. And that's kind of a recurring theme that we're seeing with these lower reviewed hotels, is they used to have so much cool theming to them that's been taken away for who knows what reason. But yeah, here at the Excalibur, Circus Circus, and at the Luxor, they used to have so much cool stuff around the theming of the resort. And since they've taken it away and they haven't replaced it with anything, there's just like so much empty space and it feels barren and deserted. Wow, Abed, what a grand entrance to Buca de Beppo.
That's not Buca de Beppo, that's the Excalibur.
That's medieval times Buca de Beppo.
Ah, okay.
All right, there's no turning back now. We're headed inside. What awaits us? I don't know, maybe a mediocre buffet, maybe a medieval times ripoff, definitely slot machines, and hopefully a clean room. Immediately upon entering Excalibur, definitely struck with the aroma of deodorized carpet and stale cigarette smoke. That's part of its charm though, right guys?
I gotta say, they really carried in the theming from the outside to the inside. Like, is this what the Disneyland castle looks like on the inside?
Maybe a little bit nicer than this, but I agree with the bed. It's really cool. It's not just a facade. You walk in and you feel like you're in a castle that has casino in it, but a castle nonetheless. Look, it's Dick's, our favorite. No, they have a Dick's Last Resort here. If you're unfamiliar with what Dick's Last Resort is, it's basically a restaurant where the servers are super rude to you on purpose, and you can have like fun back and forth banter.
Chris, I don't know if MGM just has a deal with Johnny's Rocket, but how cool is it that they have a Johnny's Rocket here? Just like on Harmony of the Seas and other Royal Caribbean ships. I miss Harmony, but that's cool. If I get hungry, I'm gonna come to Johnny's Rocket.
Ovid, we've been through this. It's Johnny Rockets. Johnny Rockets. As we showed you outside, Excalibur does have a Buca de Beppo. So in addition to Dick's Last Resort, they have a Buca de Beppo if you want, you know, some good old chain Italian food. Honestly, Buca isn't that bad, so kind of a good, cheaper option here at the Excalibur. We all know that it's the rise of the food hall here in Las Vegas. So it's actually cool to see a buffet here at the Excalibur. I did not know that there was a buffet here. We're gonna have to test our morbid curiosity out and go try it out right now. Okay, to be fair, Circus Circus also had a buffet, but theirs was like never open. I don't know if there were weird hours, if it was only open from like 3 to 4 p.m. We wanted to try out the Excalibur buffet because we were just walking by. I didn't know that they had this. It is the weekend right now, so we did the weekend champagne brunch, so it was $43 per person. Seems a little steep for a buffet, but it does come with unlimited champagne and mimosas. They have a bar for you to make your own. for 90 minutes. So if you want to pound back some mimosas, you got 90 minutes to do that. I'm excited to see what kind of food they have around here. It actually looks like a decent selection. All right, so to be honest, selection on the buffet was good. Nothing crazy. No like crab legs or anything like that, but you're not coming to the Excalibur for that. The brunch options were pretty decent. They had a carvery station, an omelet making station. They had some Mexican food, they had pizza. In the Mediterranean section, there was mashed potatoes and macaroni and cheese. So I think that was just mislabeled. I got some brisket. I got some chicken fried steak, eggs, mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, bacon, sausage. I think I said brisket, but extra props for them having grilled jalapenos on the buffet. These are so good. If you know, you know, grilled jalapenos are amazing and add that nice bit of spice that you need sometimes. But so far, this looks pretty decent. We'll let you know how it is afterwards. And of course, I had to grab a mimosa. This is my kind of mimosa, zero juice, just champagne. Oh yeah, I'm getting another one of those. And of course, like any good hotel and casino here on the Las Vegas Strip, you gotta have a food court. Excalibur is no exception. They have a Krispy Kreme, they've got a bed, they've got a Cinnabon, they got a Popeyes, Einstein Brothers bagels, so pretty good variety here if you just want something quick and easy to grab.
I gotta say, walking around, first impression so far is that this could be, you'll have to watch to the end, my favorite Abed's pick of the three. I don't know. There's a good positive energy, unlike Luxor. The ceilings are a little higher, not too high, but the air feels cleaner. It feels clean. I know people, call it the dirty castle, but I'm not getting that vibe inside.
It honestly feels cleaner than the other two resorts. Bed's right, the ceilings are a little bit higher. It's brighter in here.
Yeah.
It actually smells nice. So we haven't seen the room yet, so that'll be the determining factor, but we'll see when we see the room.
That's the true test. All right, hopefully these are better than Luxor.
It's not a very high bar to clear.
No. Oh, cute tiny window.
That's cute.
That's an old-timey window.
It's like a little turret.
Oh my God, how do you know what that is?
Because that's what they're called when you're in a tower. Very dated, very old. Look at the ceilings, popcorn ceilings that I can touch. So it's just, that's what comes with these older resorts.
Wow, another turret window. I've always known that that's what it's called.
Let's go find our room. Oh, carpet in the room. Very old school.
All right, carpet in the room. Let's get some lights. Old school hotel. And they have the wall. Oh my gosh.
Oh, we got the view of the Luxor.
All right, I mean, we were just there.
Listen, it's a dark room, popcorn ceilings. It's dark. You can definitely tell there's some wear and tear already on the desk there. Old furniture. But you don't come and stay at the Excalibur for the amenities in the room. You stay here for a cheap room. You're gonna go explore Las Vegas. This is just a place to lay your head. And upon first inspection, relatively clean. I don't see any huge red flags yet, but let's go check out the bathroom.
So just like we've been doing, we're gonna live in this room and then give you our thoughts at the end. We're also gonna choose our favorite out of the 3 budget, best of the worst hotels. But this is kind of a really cool view. I bet at night when the Luxor is all lit up, it's gonna be fantastic. Let's normalize calling that the Dirty Pyramid.
Yeah, the Dirty Pyramid and the Dirty Circus tent.
Let's go to the pool because I know it's early, but we got our room. It's about noon. I think it's pool time, relaxing time, because there's still so much to do here at this hotel. Not as much as the others, but hey, we're here to have a good time. Let's get medieval on this place.
All right, I gotta test the bed really quick. Oh, okay. Honestly, not bad. Okay, let me lay on it flat. It's actually pretty comfortable. Actually, it's very comfortable, surprising. Definitely the most comfortable bed out of the 3 we've tried. Ooh, I like it. I may just fall asleep.
And Chris, I noticed that you're willing to walk on the carpet here.
Yeah, because there aren't strange discoloration spots. It looks clean. The Luxor's carpet it looked like it had seen stuff. I'm sure this carpet has too, but it doesn't look as scary. So if you know, you know.
Oh, okay.
Feels good out here.
Look at this.
Oh, this is nice. Where do we get towels? There we go, to the left.
Towel station. This is nice. I gotta say, first impressions, I mean, it's not the biggest one out of the 3 we've been to.
Definitely not the biggest, but there's like nobody out here.
Yeah.
And it feels really good out here today. It's not like 1,000 degrees.
I will say, like, the chairs are kind of lacking. These look really cheap. Yeah, they're like kind of rubber bandy, but to be honest,
They're just cheap beach chairs.
yeah, they're just cheap beach chairs. I mean, they're very different than Luxor, but honestly, they're pretty comfy.
All in all, the pool's pretty nice here. I'm not gonna lie. It's not the biggest pool complex. The Luxor's pool deck was way bigger, but honestly, it gets the job done.
Cheers to being at the pool. Naturally, gotta get a margarita.
Margarita. It's a batched margarita, but it's good. All right, we're back from the pool. It's time to get changed, and it's a little bit too early for dinner, so we're gonna go explore Excalibur a little bit. I saw a sign about a fun dungeon. It's either like a fun family arcade, or it's some seedy medieval S&M club. So we're gonna go find out either way what the fun dungeon is.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Right?
Yeah. All right, so we are in the fun dungeon. Looks like it's an arcade. It's not an adults-only medieval S&M club.
Right?
Missed opportunity, but
Hey,
this is just a
awesome.
giant kids casino, which I love that they have these. We were actually wondering, you know, Excalibur seems like such a family-friendly place. We were surprised they didn't have like a huge arcade, but here it is, the fun dungeon.
They have Ninja Turtles. Hey, Chris, text the stop sign.
All right, that's smart. Putting a Dairy Queen in the middle of a kids arcade. If you want a Blizzard or some chicken fingers or some steak fingers with gravy, if you know, you know.
And look, as Texas boys, that's our stop sign. We might have to have dinner there later.
All right, here at Excalibur, Tournament of Kings is probably the signature experience. And if you've ever been to a medieval times, it's exactly like that. So you're kind of broken up into groups within the arena, and you're all cheering for your own knight. And there's jousting, there's a bunch of different things that happen. There's some cool pyrotechnics that go on during the show, and then you're served dinner. And Abed and I have been to medieval times back in Texas. This is exactly the same experience. To be honest, we're not huge fans of it, so we're probably not going to do this today. But if you have a big family, or you're just a really big fan of kind of like the medieval jousting dinner theater experience, then maybe check out Tournament of Kings. So they have live horses. Again, they have like all different actors that participate during the show, and you're served dinner. When we did it at medieval times, we were given like a turkey leg or a chicken leg, and you get like vegetables and bread. Everything was super bland and mediocre. So again, we're gonna skip that here, but it is here if you want to experience it. Okay, so instead of Tournament of Kings, Abed and I worked up an appetite after the fun dungeon, and we're gonna eat here at Buca di Beppo tonight, which is family-style Italian. If you've ever eaten at kind of an Olive Garden or a Buca, you know what kind of food they serve. We're big fans, honestly. We love chain restaurants. So we're excited about Buca tonight. We're gonna eat here, maybe go gamble in the adult casino afterwards, but we'll catch you guys in the morning.
Good morning, everybody. Can't believe we did it. We stayed at the 3 lowest rated hotels in Las Vegas, at least on the Strip. And based off our research, of course. He's downstairs. I gotta go meet up with him. We're gonna kind of get things going because we gotta check out and we gotta give you our final thoughts on Excalibur and then also what you came here for. What was the best of the worst? Now that we've stayed at all 3 hotels, let's give you the pros and cons of each. Circus Circus. Let's start with the bad news first. When it comes to the cons, its age is certainly showing on the inside. The carpet, the smells, it's not great. Chris and I did stay in a renovated room, but more on that in a second. Overall, the cons are, quite frankly, its age and its upkeep. They just haven't been doing a good job. Recently, they did paint the outside. It looks great, just the inside needs a lot of love, y'all. With respect to location, it is a con because you're sandwiched between high-end resorts. When you've got something that's definitely more budget and value surrounded by high end, it doesn't really match your price point. You're gonna have to travel a little bit by walking, taking a taxi, Uber to get to the things that you can probably afford. So that's not great. The pros, surprisingly, the price. Yes, the resort fees, taxes were more than the nightly rate. We paid $35 for the nightly rate. Everything else was like $55. But the room, especially the newly renovated room, was really nice. The hardwood was great. It was clean. Everything was fairly well maintained. And there are so many activities. The Adventure Dome has to be considered a pro here, especially if you've got a lot of kids. The last pro I'll mention is the steakhouse. Really good at its price point. Not the cheapest steakhouse in Vegas, certainly not the most expensive, but the service and the food were great. And cooking meat over charcoal, nothing's better than that.
Okay, pros and cons for the Luxor. All right, let's start with the cons for the Luxor. The biggest con has to be the accommodations here. They just were really, really dated. They weren't very clean. They were kind of falling apart. They just weren't it. And also the elevators, sorry, the inclinators here are a trip. Do not like those at all. Also, I know this is gonna sound weird, but another con of the Luxor has to be just the overall vibes of the place. The bed and I didn't get a good energy or a good feeling staying here, which is another reason why I don't think we're gonna stay here again. Now, let's talk about some of the pros, because there are some pros for the Luxor, including the entertainment. So they have the Carrot Top comedy show, they have the Blue Man Group, they also have Fantasy, the burlesque show. They have several exhibitions as well that you can go through, like the Titanic Artifact Museum or the Bodies exhibition. And they have Playground, the newest addition here at Luxor, which is kind of an adult playground. You can go back to being a kid and play all of your favorite games with a cocktail. So I'll say the theming is a pro for the Luxor. The themed resort is going the way of the dinosaur here in Las Vegas. So it is cool to see a relic of history still standing strong here at the Luxor.
All right, let's talk pros and cons of Excalibur. Let's do the bad news first. There's sort of a lack of entertainment and good food options here. Granted, we do enjoy this type of cuisine, you know, that fast casual, the, you know, themed restaurants. They're great, they have their place, but when we come to Vegas, when we travel, we like to try things that we don't have at home. Entertainment-wise, there's really not a lot, even for us, other than gambling. The pool was okay. It was just kind of lacking from that perspective. For families, I don't know that I would recommend that. Now, pros. The room was clean. The theming throughout is really cute. The stained glass windows, might I say, the inside's actually really pretty. Like, that's weird to say about the Excalibur, because for so long we prejudged it based off its outside. And gotta say, another pro is the location. You're sandwiched between so many great options. It's a quick walk over to New York, MGM Grand, or even Luxor or Mandalay Bay.
All right, everyone, it's time to announce the winner of our Best of the Worst on the Las Vegas Strip. But before we get to that, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. It helps our channel grow. And consider joining our YouTube memberships, the Random Fandom. It'll give you some access to some really exclusive video content that isn't available to main channel members. And if you don't like it, you can always cancel anytime. There's no obligation there. We've made you wait long enough. We've gone through the pros and cons of Circus Circus, the Luxor, and Excalibur. And it's time to name the winner of Random Recess's Best of the Worst on the Las Vegas Strip. Drum roll, please. It's the Excalibur, you guys. All right, it is the Excalibur. The bed and I, if you would have asked us if we would have named Excalibur the winner of this contest before we stayed here, no shot. It's a great budget option, I would say, if you're looking to stay in Las Vegas on the cheap. Obviously, you're not staying here to stay in a luxury experience. You're not staying at the Wynn. This isn't the Encore. This isn't the Fontainebleau. But it gets you a relatively decent location next to some other great resort options if you want to explore the Las Vegas Strip, but also gives you a nice, well-themed, clean experience. So Excalibur is our winner.
Comment down below, do you agree with our choice? I know, we're just as surprised as you are, but we want to thank you for watching this far. We want to thank our members. Thank you for your continued support. And as always, make sure to live life one recess at a time.